of 2024 in the NASCAR Canada Series, presented by Pinty's and Everham. Of 20.
Our thanks to Adam Ross, as Adam will be joining us in the booth here in a few minutes after the command to start engines rolls off here, as we get set for the 51 lap run, the ASSA ABLOY Accentra 200. And of course, these drivers will be back here on Labor Day weekend for the second of two stops in the NASCAR Canada Series here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. And again, we welcome all of those race fans on an absolutely gorgeous, warm and sunny Sunday to kick off our first of 5 major weekends here at the racetrack. I know we've got a number of first-time visitors here to the racetrack. We appreciate your attendance and support and look forward to seeing you back here a little bit later on in the summer to kick off as we get set for our feature race this weekend. All of the cars, a large grid assembled here on the start-finish straightaway, and very shortly the command to start engines will be going out. Later on in the
Well, race fans, the excitement in the garage area all weekend. If you were here last year, and I know some of you were, but I know all of you weren't, because this is a much bigger crowd. Boy, oh boy, thank you for coming out for this one. But there's not a lot of love lost between our front row contestants, competitors. Gary Clute in the 59, Kevin Lacroix in the 74, Ontario versus Quebec. 2 hard-charging competitors who may feel they're owed some love out here this weekend. But I'll tell you this much, Marc-Antoine Cameron last year had a season that would have won a lot of people championships if not for the fact that Trayton Lapsevich had an even better year. Cameron is up on the wheel looking for big things in 2024, but so is the driver immediately beside. Andrew Ranger out of Roxton Pond, Quebec, has suffered more bad luck in the last couple of seasons than this driver has ever experienced in his illustrious racing career. He is looking to have a solid finish here this weekend. He needs to earn some points. He needs to start a new streak, some positive momentum. Keep your eyes on the GM Paillet number 27. He has a lot of optimism heading into this weekend. We will continue working our way through the field. The WeatherTech number 47 of LP Dumoulin, former series champion multiple times, the driver from Trois-Rivières, Quebec, didn't find victory lane in 2023. He wants to do that in 2024, and this would be a great opportunity. Alongside him, a driver looking to find a podium finish for the first time. He has always had the speed when he comes out and races with us on road courses. Driver of the De Sousa Railing Company, number 31 of Daniel Bois. From Bracebridge, Ontario, a high-performance driving instructor. Right here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, he knows how to get it done. The stars don't end there as we continue to work through the field. Has anyone heard of Alex Tagliani? Former Indianapolis 500 pole sitter, one of the world's elite road racers. He has a new ride this year. He is behind the wheel of the number 80 St. Hubert 440 Laval Chevrolet entry. He's a little concerned that he's short on horsepower this weekend, but he is not short on driving ability. And we will see this driver work his way to the front. Same with the fellow beside him, former series champion from Victoriaville, Quebec, Alex Labbé in the number 36. If you're seeing a trend here, folks, we are all the way at the back of the top 10, and we're still talking about world-class championship racers. We have no shortage of them in this field. We've got savvy veterans like Peter Kloot in the number 6, the legendary Motorcar sponsored entry. We've got young lions like JP Bergeron in the E-Racer Sports Hydration Drink, sponsored number 1 Ford Mustang, new crew chief and Don Thompson Jr. working with JP Bergeron. And a youngster you might not have heard of, but you're going to. The Janet King number 19. He's out of Nova Scotia, Danny Chisholm. He is an impressive young racer, and we can look for big things out of this driver. He has shown a ton of speed in testing and practice, and he will start just outside of the top 10. Names like DJ Kennington, formerly the Castrol Kid, Danny Chisholm. He is the Iron Man of the NASCAR Canada Series. He has competed in each and every race since the inception of this field. There are drivers to watch. There are .200. The podium at the end.
We'll be getting back to Adam Ross here momentarily for the command to start engines. And again, ladies and gentlemen, if you've got a portable radio or the FM in your car, 90.7, you'll be able to follow along here lap by lap for the ASSA ABLOY Accentra 200 coming up next year at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. And when that race is over, stick around. We'll have our third and final Toyo Tires F1600 Championship 22-minute race in that series. The
Less than 2 minutes to go until the command. What a difference a day makes. Yesterday, there was a little bit of moisture in the air at certain times, but it was certainly not a day like we have today. The sun glaring down on Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. That will make this surface challenging to grip for these racers this afternoon. It's going to make for one whale of a show for the race fans here in attendance. Make sure you're keeping yourselves hydrated, folks. It is a long day out here in the sun. I've seen what some of you are hydrating with. Throw in a bottle of water once in a while. I say that for your hydration benefits and because some of us might stop by later on. Keeping yourselves later on. Race fans, now it's time for the most famous words in motorsports. Let's welcome one of ASSA ABLOY Accentra's customers from their international distribution network, Jason Savoy and Cooper, to give today's command.
Drivers, start your engines.
Command. And just like that, the field roars to life. It is time to go here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. 51 laps. There will be pit stops. There will be fenders rubbing. It is going to be a wild one. And it is gonna looks as though all cars have fired here on He's looking for a big run today. So is Matthew Scannell in the 99. They had to change transmissions yesterday. He says he thinks he's made some adjustments that'll really help him in today's race. And the 29 practiced in and around the 10 as coach behind the wheel. Everham 29, almost all the way in the back of this grid. Watch for him to make some moves. Almost all. Their first ever start here with the NASCAR. pulled off of the front straightaway. Get up near the fence, give these trucks a wave. They're going to do a couple of pace laps, and then they're going to do battle here on the tricky road course of CTMP.
Thank you, Adam Ross. The cars making a slow lap around the racetrack behind that Chevrolet Camaro safety car. And then as they come back on around on the second of the pace laps, they will be forming up into the 15 rows of 2 cars per row. Looks like we've got, of the 30 cars, a total of 14 drivers from Ontario, 15 from Quebec, and the 1 driver from Nova Scotia, young Danny Chisholm in car number 19. His very first visit here to Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. The rookie, one of 7 rookie drivers in the field, was able to qualify that car 11th. He'll go from the inside of row number 6 as the field makes its way down through Moss Corner at the south end of the circuit. These are heavy race cars and a lot of hard braking going down through the chute and uphill into Moss Corner. It'll be 51 laps on the 2.459, almost 4 kilometer long track that makes up the 200 in heavy race car. ASSA ABLOY Accentra 200 here this afternoon. Again, as we said, a big welcome to all of the first-time race fans. I know checking in with some of the Bowmanville Rotary Club members who were taking fans all around the racetrack throughout the last 3 days. They met a number of fans who didn't quite know where to go to spectate the race. They were here at the racetrack for the very first time. Adam Ross, the longtime voice of the NASCAR Canada Series, has joined us here in the booth after a spectacular opening ceremonies. And again, we'd like to thank the Skyhawk skydiving team for a beautiful performance, seeing those Canadian flags go flying through the air and then landing in the infield here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. Buckle your seatbelts, ladies and gentlemen. We are in for NASCAR racing at its best here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. 30 cars and drivers ready to do battle here over the 51 laps. The Chevrolet Camaro safety car, the lights are still on, rolls off at turn number 10 as they get in the second of their warm-up laps. And again, a big tip of the announcer's cap to the men and women who have been manning all of the corners, the Motorsport Marshalling Service volunteers, and in fact, all of our great volunteers that help make a weekend that is the Castrol Victoria Day Speed Fest possible.
Well said, Pat. What a crowd. Look at the crowd all the way around this facility. We've got the luxury of having some cameras placed all around, and we can see you folks. We can see that you've come out here to have a great weekend. Some of you here with your family, some of you here with your friends, some of you here with friends and family. But it's just a beautiful thing to see. I have never seen... Look at the part of the infield, Pat, that we see from the top of turn 10. I have never seen it that jammed on this Victoria Day weekend.
Well, parking is free with your admission here, but if somebody had a parking concession, they'd be leaving the track here at the end of the race day. A pretty rich person. Thank you again, ladies and gentlemen, for being part of this celebration of motorsport to kick off our 2024 season. We hope to see you back here either in a month for the Varac Vintage Grand Prix, the Chevrolet Grand Prix in July, with the ASSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship. If you're a motorcycle road racing fan, we've got super bikes, sport bikes, and the brand new Bagger Racing League in the August 10th and 11th weekend. And then, of course, these NASCAR cars are back here on Labor Day weekend for our Labor Day weekend sprint. Should be an incredible 2024 season. The field will start to form up shortly. They're just clearing the south end of the track going through Moss Corner, and those drivers moving those cars back and forth trying to warm up those tires.
Well, and they are being told right now to double up the field. You can see it taking shape, and you can see them accelerate down the backstretch. The front row is at pace car speed. The last number of rows, they're having to come up through the gears to catch this pack. They will all join in. 15 rows of 2 as they work under the Canadian Tire Bridge towards turn 8. Rumbling to the green flag of the ASSA ABLOY Accentra 200. What a show it's going to be. 51 laps is the distance. They cannot go the whole distance on fuel. They're going to have to come to the pits at some point, and they're going to have to come to the pits to take on rubber. Pat, nobody has ever won this race without changing tires.
Makes a big difference if you've got some fresh rubber on that race car. And of course, they can't go the full 200 kilometers without coming out of pit road for fuel. That front row, Gary Clute, car number 59 in the Dodge, 74 Kevin Lacroix, as they roll off at turn number 10. Adam.
Headed towards the first green flag of 2024. Tightly bunched 15 rows. Here we go. Green flag is out. They charge into turn number 1. Gary Clute with the advantage in corner entry. He's going to lead the way towards turn number 2.
And there was some contact there between Clute and Kevin Lacroix. Just a little bit of a tap. It'll be Gary Clute who will lead them out the bottom of turn 2 as they head to Quebec corner here at turn number 3. It is 59. Gary Clute running at the point as the driver works his way out onto the short chute coming under the bridge at turn number 4.
Who is that? Is that Sam Fellows going around off the exit of turn number 2? No.
That driver does get it corrected and will continue. Here is the battle going on further back. They'll go 2 at times, 3 wide out of that marsh. Turned up the back straightaway here on the opening lap. But it's Gary Clute, 59, the pole sitter, going to the front.
It was a blue car that hit, I think it was LP Montour. The number 13 machine of Montour started up near the front, started in 12th. I believe he is all the way to the back of the field now.
Out of that.
What an orchestrated first lap that was. Drivers seeing if they could get a position, but knowing they have to get in line. You don't want to battle side by side as the snake comes up through turns number 9 and 10. The field looks clean at the exit at the finish of lap number 1, and we will know shortly, but I believe all 30 cars made their way around to complete the first lap.
Had some moments there at the end of that opening lap. It is the pole sitter, Gary Clute, in that 59 Dodge ahead of Kevin Lacroix, 74 in second. Then it's the 2 GM Paille drivers, the 96 of Marc-Antoine Camerand in third, 27 Andrew Ranger runs fourth, and LP Dumoulin back there in the 5th place position. 3 Dodges, 2 Chevrolets up in that front running 5 as they work back down through Moss Corner and begin that climb up the entrance straightaway.
Jason Hathaway, all sorts of crossed up going down into turn number 5. Strong goes by. Charbonneau goes by in the 88. What a save by Jason Hathaway.
Nice bit of driving there by Hathaway down through. He just about looped that car around in that ASSA ABLOY entry.
Course yellow. Sorry, Pat. We have gone to a full course yellow. There's a report of at least 1 lug nut on the front straightaway. Now, debris is something that happens in racing, Pat, and there's a lot of pieces that can come loose on these cars and fall off and not cause any problems. But I am going to suggest if 1 lug nut came off, there is a good possible car out there with multiple loose lug nuts. Now,
well, of course, sitting on the racetrack can easily damage one of the tires on these cars. So we go to an early full course yellow here on lap number 3. The Chevrolet Camaro pace car will pick up the leader, Gary Clute, Let's give you a quick rundown as we run under this full course yellow. Clute 59, the pole sitter, is your leader. 74, Kevin Lacroix in second. 96, Mark Antoine Cameron third. Andrew Ranger is fourth. LP Dumoulin running in fifth. Daniel Bois down in the 31 is sixth. The 80 car of Alex Tagliani runs seventh. Eighth is 36 Alex Labe. 1 JP Bergeron in ninth. And rounding out your top 10 is Peter Clute in car number 6.
Yeah, Michael Gowdy is down on pit road in that Muskoka Mod Center number 38. I talked to him during the autograph session. He said he was concerned there was a vibration in the car. They changed the drive shaft, they changed a few things, but he wasn't sure if they found what the source of the vibration was. And I will tell you this, you cannot race here at CTMP with the speeds that we travel. If there is a vibration, it's going to cause a catastrophic problem in that race car. And Gowdy's been around racing long enough to know, bring it down pit road and try to find the problem.
Well, I believe they have picked up that lug nut or lug nuts that were on the start-finish straightaway.
Here at
the field winding its way out of Moss Corner, up the Andretti straightaway, led by that red Chevrolet Camaro pace car. As we work lap number 3, we gave you the top 10. Let's take you a little bit further back. In 11th was the 13 car of LP straightaway. Sam Fellows in car number 87 up into 12th. The rookie from Nova Scotia, Danny Chisholm, he is the highest running Justin's Rookie of the Year candidate in the 13th spot. Then in 14, 17, DJ Kennington. We were reminiscing yesterday, Adam. Watched him as a teenager run at Delaware Speedway back in the old CASCAR days. He is there in 14th. Then Dexter Stacy in the 92 in 15th. Ryan Clute, 42, 16th. Then Malcolm Strawn in 17th. 18th is the 3 of Jason Hathaway, who did a great save coming into Moss Corner a couple of laps ago. It looked like he was headed for the gravel trap, but managed to save it. Simone Charbonneau, the second running of the highest ranking rookie driver right now. He is in 19th, and Matthew Scannell in car number 99 rounds out your top 20. As we continue here, lap number 3 going up on the board, but under the full course yellow. This one's scheduled for 51 laps.
With this yellow flag this early in the race, it really provides no opportunity for anybody to gain an advantage by coming into the pits. Looks like when they come out of turn number 5, we're going to double up this field. We'll bring them back to the green flag with 4 laps complete. Now, Pat, if we see a yellow flag beyond lap 11, that's when we're going to see drivers think, okay, I can come in, top up with fuel, maybe come in, put on 2 tires. So when I come in later, I only have to put on an additional 2, because left side tires will do much more for your car here at CTMP than right side tires. As Gowdy is back on pit road in that number 38, clearly not satisfied with whatever the team may have found.
And I think the corner workers may have spotted some additional debris on the track between turns 9 and 10. The service vehicle stopped there for a moment and now is repositioned in turn number 10. And we should be getting set to go back to green. Next time by, it'll be the completion of lap number 4.
Well, whatever they serviced on Gowdy's 38, he is pulled back off of pit road. He's going to re-enter the race, and the field is doubling up on the backstretch. The lights are out on the pace car. New pace car driver, Bob Sumac, is behind the wheel of the pace car this year. He has been around motorsports for many decades. A former crew member for Don Biederman, for Junior Hanley. He has been around the sport for a couple of minutes.
That goes back decades, and some Hall of Fame names there, Adam. And also great to see Tom Kipp, who did a wonderful job on the invocation. Tom, of course, a former Superbike winner here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park back in the early 90s. Now part of the motor racing outreach, and he, I think, is going to be making a return visit here on Labor Day weekend as well.
Just a super guy. Would that have been before the days they shaved down the backstretch when there was a lot of airborne? We're going back to green. Gary Kloot going to set the pace on the inside of row number 1. Kevin Lacroix immediately to his left. Green flag is out. We're back underway in the ASSA ABLOY Accentra 200. Another good launch for Kloot in that 59. Kevin Lacroix trying to close the door on Marc-Antoine Cameron as they exit turn 1.
And those two GM Paye Chevrolets go side by side for second. Ranger and that number 96 car of Marc-Antoine Cameron. But it is Gary Kloot back out in front at the point as they go through turn number 3. Andrew Ranger has moved around Marc-Antoine Cameron into third. And then it is Cameron, and then I believe that 5th place spot, still the 47 of LP Dumoulin. They work through turn 4 on the brakes hard up in a Moss corner. And right now, Ranger is all over that 74 car of Kevin Lacroix, but it's single file out of the hairpin as they work up the back straight.
Boy, Alex Tagliani used up Alex Labbe at the exit of turn 5. Tagliani was complaining earlier on. He's just short on horsepower. He can't keep up on the straightaways, so he's really having to drive the car hard in the turns to keep pace with the front runners.
And Tagliani did pick up a spot up into 7th, and we've got some battles going on a little bit further back. Here's Lacroix on the inside of Gary Kloot. They're going to go side by side down the start-finish straightaway. Across the line, Kloot will get credit with leading that lap, but going through on the inside is Kevin Lacroix. So we've already had our first lead change of the day.
Gary Kloot wisely gave that spot up to Kevin Lacroix. Lacroix had the line going into turn 1, and Kloot knew if he tries to battle, he could run the risk of losing 2nd place, 3rd place, 4th place. Better off to get behind the 74, size up the 59, see what he's got against the competition. Right now, Kevin Lacroix in the 74 leading the way. Andrew Ranger in the 27 running 3rd. Those cars are identically prepared race cars.
And those front-running 5 have opened up a little bit of a gap on the driver running in 6. That's 31 Daniel Bois. They clear Moss corner, now up through the gearboxes. They crest the hill here in just about half a minute or so. And it is Lacroix, 74, who has opened up about 6 car lengths on the pole sitter, 59 Gary Kloot. Andrew Ranger in 3rd. Cameron, 96, is 4th. And LP Dumoulin rounding out your top 5.
This point in the race, these drivers really aren't concerned. If you're in the top 5, you're right where you want to be. In fact, all the way back to Daniel Bois. Wow, contact between Alex Labbe and Alex Tagliani through turn 9. Opened the door for Labbe to drive to the inside of that yellow and red number 80 and take over that position. They were losing ground on the top 6. The top 6 had pulled away. Alex Labbe does not want to lose that gap. As I was saying, if you're in that top 6, you're right where you want to be. It doesn't matter if you're 5th, 4th, 6th, you're in the lead pack. Labbe could see they were driven away about 20 car lengths. He doesn't want to let that happen, so he pushed the issue with Alex Tagliani.
Tagliani started 7th, had worked his way around Labbe into 7th, but now it's Alex Labbe in car number 36, who's taken over that 7th place position. Alex Tagliani to 8th. The 1 of J.P. Bergeron runs in 9th. And rounding out your top 10 is the 6 car of Peter Kloot. Out of the Moss hairpin, they work up the back straightaway. That number 74 car of Kevin Lacroix leads them up the Andretti straightaway. 59 Gary Kloot in 2nd. Then it is the 2 GM Paye cars of Ranger in 3rd, Cameron in 4th, and then still the 47 of LP Dumoulin rounding out your top 5.
Up through turns 9 and 10, Kevin Lacroix has grown his lead to about 6 car lengths over Gary Kloot. Andrew Ranger right on his tail. Cameron, Dumoulin, Daniel Bois. We can see Alex Labbe has pulled away from Alex Tagliani after taking over that 7th spot. We could soon have a 7-car train at the head of this field.
Cars stringing out towards the tail end of that field, looking at where a couple of other drivers have moved up. There is Danny Chisholm in car number 19, the young Nova Scotia driver, running in 11th. Again, he's the highest running rookie. LP Montour, car number 13 and 12th. Sam Fellows in car 87 13th. DJ Kennington in the Castrol Edge Dodge 14th. And then the 92 of Dexter Stacy is being shown in 15th.
A little bit of dirt coming up in turn number 3. These drivers run right to the edge of the pavement. Sometimes they kick off into the dirt a little bit.
It looks as though Peter Clute has made up a little bit of ground here on the race leader, Kevin Lacroix. And right now, Lacroix with the fastest lap of the race, 1:23.281. And again, not as quick as they qualified yesterday, but when you're running in a pack, hard to match the same lap time that you would have put up there in the qualifying session. Up across the line, lap number 8 goes up on the board, and it is Kevin Lacroix just over Gary Clute. Those drivers all right there at about on the same place. It is Ranger in 3rd, Marc-Antoine Cameron 96 in 4th, and still LP Dumoulin running back there in 5th, and nobody there in the top 20 positions were able to make any kind of a move up. It was status quo there on lap number 8.
Alex LeBay has closed in on the back of Daniel Baugh in the 31. We've got to move further back. Stephen Cote in the 29, getting around Simon Charbonneau in the 88. Malcolm Strawn right behind. He's looking for racing room. So is the 24 of Thomas Neveu. What a sharp paint scheme on that Home Hardware 24 of Neveu.
That's a couple of rookies part of that battle just at the tail end of the top 20. That 88 car of Simon Charbonneau. And then Cote in car number 29. Some great multi-car battles going on all the way through the field. But up front, it is Kevin Lacroix working lap number 9 as he works off a turn number 10. It's about 7 car lengths back to Gary Clute, then Andrew Ranger, and then Marc-Antoine Cameron and LP Dumoulin. So that order, at least in the top 5, has not changed.
A lot of battles throughout this field, not just at the front of the pack, but you work your way all the way through. And I'm going to give a little shout out here to Larry Jackson in the O'Neill Electric number 84. He's running in the 24th spot, Pat, but I can almost promise you he will finish this race towards the top 15. He just keeps his car on the track. He knows his game plan. I'm doing the same thing with Matthew Scannell, running in the 22nd spot in the 99 car. They have a plan. It may not look like he's a contender, but I'm sure they've got something figured out with pit strategy that might find that 99 work his way through the field.
It is the 29 of Stephen Cote. The rookie driver has moved up into 18th. Malcolm Strawn in the 19th place spot, and then we've got another rookie in Simon Charbonneau rounding out your top 20, working lap number 10. Next time by, it'll be 41 laps to go in the ASSA ABLOY Accentra 200 here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park.
The gap's growing a little larger. Kevin Lacroix stretching out. Last time by, it was 1.1 seconds, the advantage by Kevin Lacroix over Gary Clute. Now it's 1.4 seconds, so 0.3 of a second quicker that last lap was Kevin Lacroix than Gary Clute. Not much change going on right now. As you said, we're just turning in laps, but these drivers are starting to plan for their pit stop. We will see someone peel off this racetrack soon and top up with Sunoco race fuel.
Andrew Ranger holding on to that 3rd place position. His teammate Marc-Antoine Cameron right there. And again, the race leader Kevin Lacroix, who started on the front row after topping the practice and then following it up by qualifying second to Gary Clute, able to take over the lead early, and since then he has just consistently put together quick laps. That last lap, he was 0.3 of a second quicker than Gary Clute and continues to inch away.
Michael Gowdy in that 38 machine back on pit road. They've been battling some sort of gremlin all day long in that race car. Danny Chisholm, you'll notice the right rear fender on that race car is flared out. That cannot be helping him down these long straightaways. In fact, DJ Kennington swings to the inside of the number 19 down into turn number 8. Here we go, pit action, folks. Gary Clute in the 59 comes down pit road. They are going to top up with race fuel. And if you look, Gary Clute is pitted way back towards turn number 10. Quick stop for fuel, and he will work his way back onto the racetrack. So Gary Clute gave up the second spot to come to pit road.
And everybody, of course, behind him will move up in the running order. Andrew Ranger, 27, goes to second. 96, Marc-Antoine Cameron to third. 47, LP Dumoulin in fourth. And now Daniel Bois will take over that fifth place position. We've got a three-way battle going on for sixth, involving the 80 of Alex Tagliani, the 1 of JP Bergeron, and the 6 of Peter Clute. Those three cars right together on the racetrack, and with Clute coming on to pit road, it is the biggest gap that we've seen first to second, as the two GM Paye Chevrolets try to chase down that number 74 Dodge of Kevin Lacroix, as he is about to complete lap number 12 here next time by.
And I'm not sure if Alex Labbé had a problem or if Labbé also came into the pits in that 36. He slid down the leaderboard. We'll be able to tell very shortly if he's on the track. He is not. So Labbé must have pitted as well for fuel on the same lap Gary Clute came in. Now we see Danny Chisholm and Ryan Clute, I believe. They'll get down to pit road speed. Remember Danny Chisholm, he's done some pro stock racing in the Maritimes. He's had great success behind the wheel of a Legends car all over the United States, as we look at Ryan Clute fueling up that 42 machine.
So several drivers have come on to pit road here right around lap number 12, including Gary Clute, who was running there in the second place position at the time, but it has been all Kevin Lacroix checking his fastest lap here of the race so far. 1 minute 23.281 for Kevin Lacroix. That last lap was also into the minute 23s for Lacroix, and that chasing group behind him, Andrew Ranger and Marc-Antoine Cameron in the GM Paye Chevrolets, into the 24. Definitely Kevin Lacroix is the driver who's got the pace here, and the race leader will come back to the line to complete lap number 13.
Daniel Bois, the MBS 31 D'Souza Railing Company. That's a very cool partnership with D'Souza Railing. They were involved with Trayton Lapsevich last season. Bois had a problem finding his pit stall, had to back up to it, but great to see D'Souza remain involved with the series. They found another great team to get involved with. As the fuel going into the 31 of Bois, that was a bit of a long stop.
That number 74 Napa Dodge continues to run well ahead of a close second, third, and fourth place battle involving 27 Andrew Ranger, 96 Marc-Antoine Cameron, and the 47 of LP Dumoulin. Those three cars are well clear of what would be the new fifth place car, and that is that bright yellow entry of Alex Tagliani. He's a long way back there in fifth, as that trio of cars in second, third, and fourth trying to chase down Lacroix. But again, Lacroix consistently with laps in the minute 23s, and that chasing group has been in the minute 24s.
Problems again for Matthew Scannell in the 99. I don't know how they can keep the green flag out. I believe we're going to see a full course caution.
So it is Scannell stopped out there on the racetrack as we go to a full course yellow.
So this is interesting. We've got lots of drivers entering a closed pit. It was open for DJ Kennington. It's debatable for Dexter Stacey, but For Thomas Neva, it was definitely closed. For Dexter Stacy, I think it was closed. For Jason Hathaway, it seems like it was closed. The officials already talking about it on the radio, because once you go to a full course yellow, as soon as they call yellow, the red and yellow flag is displayed in turn 10. That's Amy Wong, a longtime official. Okay, we're hearing Jason Hathaway in the 3. He is a veteran, drove all the way through pit road, never stopped in his pit stall. So all he's going to lose is the track position he gave up by going down pit road. If you committed to the pits and stopped after pit road was closed, there's a penalty. If you're DJ Kennington, who had already committed to the pits before the yellow came out, you should be able to make your stop. So we'll leave this to the officials to sort out.
Working lap number 15 of a scheduled 51 that make up the ASSA ABLOY Accentra 200. We're under a full course yellow, as Kevin Lacroix, 74, has led most of those 14 laps. Andrew Ranger, 27, in second. 96, Marc-Antoine Cameron, third. Alex Tagliani in car number 80 in fourth. 47, LP Dumoulin, fifth. Sixth is the one of JP Bergeron. Seventh is car number 98, Malcolm Strawn. 17, DJ Kennington being shown in eighth. Gary Clute, having stopped for fuel, back out there, is ninth. And rounding out your top 10 at the moment, Simone Charbonneau, but again with pit stops likely to come up here before they open the pits, that we should be seeing a further shuffling of the running order. Will reset the field as soon as the last of the pit stops gets completed here. And that service vehicle has made its way, believe that is between turns 1 and 2 is where he has stopped on the racetrack.
I think it's between 2 and 3. No? Between 3 and 4, I'm sorry. That's the exit at turn 3, because the campers. Am I wrong?
I think you might be right. It's on one. It's either I think it's the short chute between 3 and 4, and they're trying to just maybe get that car to refire as they come under. No, it was between 1 and 2. So we were right the first. Oh, no, you're right. 3 and 4. It's the other Chevrolet bridge. So right now the pit road is still closed. And once they open that, I think we're going to see a mad scramble onto pit road. That car did stop between turns 3 and 4 as the field continued to wind its way around this racetrack. We've got 15 laps completed. Working lap number 16. And I don't think that car that has fired here as yet. The tow truck trying to give it a bit of a boost, or it may just push it all the way up that Andretti straightaway back here to the pits.
Yeah, I have a feeling that's what we're going to see now. We've got an interesting situation. There's our race leader, Kevin Lacroix, in turn 10. But the pace car is nowhere near the race leader. So they're instructing cars on the track to pass the pace vehicle and catch the leaders. But Pat, I don't know where the pace vehicle, so we just saw the leaders of the race. They're in between turns 1 and 2 now, but they're nowhere near the pace vehicle.
First 5 cars have gone through here to complete lap number 16. Meanwhile, that tow truck continues to try to push that 99 car of Matthew Scannell up the Andretti straightaway.
So cars are still going around the pace vehicle, which any race car driver knows, I'm not supposed to do this. But they've been instructed to do it because they need to do that until the leader catches up. So these cars have a long way to go now to catch back up. So there we go. Now there's Kevin Lacroix. There's the pace vehicle. Nobody else needs to catch it, but they can't open pit road until the back of the field catches the front of the field again. So you're going to see a lot of cars on the track going pretty quickly for a yellow flag condition, but we've almost got things under control here.
The pace car in Moss Corner here at the moment. And again, tip of the announcer's cap to all of the fans watching this race from Moss Corner. I think over the years, Adam, that has become one of the favorite viewing spots here at the racetrack. You grab your lawn chair and you head on down there, and you can watch them come under the bridge at turn 4, down the chute, up into turn 5, through 5A, B, and C, and then you can almost watch them right to the top of the hill there on the Andretti straightaway.
I mean, there's a lot of places that'll give you an impressive view of this racetrack, but I have to agree with it.
Well, right now it looks like there are 2 cars not running on the racetrack. Matthew Scannell, 99, and Michael Gowdy in the 38. Other than that, 28 about to line up behind that Chevrolet Camaro pace car as we work lap number 17 of 51. The field off of the end of the straightaway, working their way through the S's. And I would think there it is, the green flag now being shown between turns 9 and 10, indicating to these drivers that pit road is open.
All of the leaders are coming in. Kevin Lacroix, Andrew Ranger, Marc-Antoine Camera, and Alex Tagliani, JP Bergeron, Malcolm Strong. A few stragglers stay out on the racetrack. Simon Charbonneau, Larry Jackson. Daniel Bois comes in. This will be his second stop. So let's see if Bois, he's going to, wow, they're putting left side tires on that 31. So Daniel Bois may be the first driver getting all 4 fresh General tires, and that'll be his commitment to pit lane. He will not pit again if he's put 4 tires on. So the Gloria Eng, one of the bravest officials in the place, standing in front of the field with a stop sign as they're trying to get out of the pits.
And it is Lacroix 74, Ranger 27, and Marc-Antoine Cameron 96. All will rejoin the field here. We'll see once they circle back here. There's the Chevrolet Camaro safety car. A couple of those drivers who did not pit. So this is going to shuffle the order. And it was the 47 of LP Dumoulin. I believe he was the one car who did not pit, who was up in that top 5. So he is your leader on the racetrack.
So David White, I believe, is serving as crew chief of the 19 machine this weekend for Danny Chisholm. They've got a lot of tools out.
Unfortunate for Chisholm, he had run up as high as 11th, but it looks like they've got some kind of a problem. That car being worked on pit road. The lone driver from Nova Scotia. We've got 15 Quebec drivers, 14 from Ontario, making up the 30 that took the green flag.
There was a bit of a logjam when Kevin Lacroix came out of the pits. They came out in the middle of the pack. It looks to me like it's been sorted out and he's in the right position now. But I'm curious to see where they wind up. So we're going 1 to go. They're going to double up this field. At the front, it's going to be LP Dumoulin in the 47, Gary Clute in the 59. Clute has already made his fuel stop. LP Dumoulin has made no stops. I believe that is Herbie Drescher going to restart 3rd in the 53 machine. That could get exciting. Herbie's doing a great job, but he's got 20th place speed. So Herbie Drescher's fastest lap in this race.
24 maybe?
I'm trying to find him on the scoring pylon. There we go. His best lap is 1:26. He is 3 seconds slower than the cars around him. And he's got company running that similar pace, but you're gonna wanna watch. This is where these drivers can really make up ground, but they have to take risks. They have to be aggressive.
We're on lap number 18 as we get set to go back to green. That Chevrolet Camaro pace car heads for pit road, and now it'll be the 47 of LP Dumoulin who will lead them off at turn number 10. Gary Clute in car number 59 is going to be right up alongside as they go back to green here at the end of lap number 18. Dumoulin and Clute down into turn number 1. That's how they run. And then a real shuffle for positions a little bit further back, including DJ Kennington in that Castrol Edge Dodge. He was 5th as they took the green flag.
Kennington had to lift. There was contact between himself, or nearly contact between himself and Herbie Drescher. He had to lift. That allowed Alex LeBay to get up alongside the 17. Out in front, LP Dumoulin leads the way. Gary Clute runs in the 2nd spot. They've already built an advantage over the rest of the field. They are starting to pull away, but watch for the hot shoes deep in the pack. Kevin Lacroix trying to carve through traffic, and right now he is penned in behind other cars.
DJ Kennington getting forced wide there in 5B. He is going to tuck in right behind that 36 car of Labbé, as Drescher did get shuffled back a couple of positions. And then we're looking at those cars that were up front before the pit stops. Kevin Lacroix was 11th, 27 Andrew Ranger 12th, and I think Marc-Antoine Cameron may have got the jump. Cameron right behind DJ Kennington as they come through the S's.
Oh, one way off the track. Herbie Drescher mowing the grass between 8 and 9. He's going to head down pit road. Oh my goodness. That was similar to Jason Hathaway earlier in turn 5. He was out of control, but just by a good fortune, didn't make any contact as he shot back across the racetrack.
Well, I think he did the grounds crew here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. Took some of their work. They don't need to cut the grass over there on the inside of turn number 59. Gary Clute is 2nd. Peter Clute in car number 6 is 3rd. 36 Alex Labbé 4th. 17 DJ Kennington in 5th. 96 Marc-Antoine Cameron up in his 6th. 3 Jason Hathaway is 7th. 87 Sam Fellows 8th. 9th is 27 Andrew Ranger, and 74 Kevin Lacroix rounds out your top 10.
That might be a long pit stop for Herbie Drescher as he gets a pair of shorts. Daniel Bois goes off the track of the Exodus turn 5. Is he coming back up to speed in that 31, or does he have a problem? We'll see as he works his way down the back straightaway. LP Dumoulin continuing to lead by about 3 car lengths over Gary Clute as they work up through turns 9 and 10.
They continue to shuffle the order here among the top 10 cars, as we've got a change coming up here as Dumoulin goes through Clute. Then it is Labbé, and Marc-Antoine Cameron has taken over 5th. That'll push DJ Kennington into 6th. Hathaway 7th. Sam Fellows running in 8th. 27 Andrew Ranger is in 9th. And then the 92 of Dexter Stacy rounding out your top 10.
Daniel Bois has come into the pits in that 31. Oh, we got a problem on the back straightaway. We've got one off the pace. That's Scannell again.
So car partly on the racetrack. That is just on the exit of 5C. And here is the 74 car of Lacroix. Did he go back onto pit road? I think he might.
Lacroix and JP Bergeron back onto pit road. They have now returned to the racing surface. We wait to see what the officials are going to do with the car stopped on the back straightaway. Full course yellow. Tough day for Matthew Scannell in that 99 machine.
Well, where that car was situated there in 5C, there you can see, as we take a look on the video monitor here in the announce booth, that car partially on the racetrack, not a good position. So we go to the full course yellow, working lap number 21. So 21 laps go up on the board. We've got exactly 30 laps remaining in the ASSA ABLOY Accentra 200. LP Dumoulin, your leader, 59. Gary Clute in 2nd. The 6th car of Peter Clute is 3rd. 36 Alex Labbé 4th. And the 96 of Marc-Antoine Cameron rounds out your top 5. 17 DJ Kennington in the Castrol Edge Dodge is 6th. 7th is the 3 of Jason Hathaway, the ASSA ABLOY sponsored entry. Then Sam Fellows having a good run here in 8th. 27 Andrew Ranger 9th, and still 92 Dexter Stacy rounds out your top 10.
So what we saw of the drivers who were running around each other early in the race, Marc-Antoine Cameron with a very aggressive restart was able to pick up some spots and leapfrog over Kevin Lacroix and Andrew Ranger. Now Kevin Lacroix came down pit road just before that yellow flag came out, so now Kevin has flipped the tables from a strategy standpoint, so we'll see where this all shakes out. But boy, oh boy, what a moment for Herbie Drescher a few laps ago at the exit of turn 8. Got off the track on the left-hand side, carved through the grass into turn 9. So while other cars are navigating the racetrack, Drescher's losing ground off the track but not slowing down. So he shoots directly across the racing surface at the exit of turn 9 amongst the leaders. Very fortunate there was no contact.
Well, indeed, that was a few close moments there. Looking at Kevin Lacroix, our early race leader who has come on to pit road a couple of times. He's being shown in 21st position. I believe he still has the fastest lap of the race, 1:23.281 for Kevin Lacroix. We still have got a long way to go with 30 laps remaining. It, in all likelihood, will be at least a couple of more laps before we are set to go back to green as the field winds its way under the Canadian Tire Bridge at the top of the back straight and into turn number 8. Dumoulin, who was right there in the early going, up in the top 5. And then when top 5 came on to pit road, he was able to grab the lead. And now Dumoulin will come on to pit road, and so will the 59 of Gary Kloot. So once again, this is going to shuffle the running order as we continue on the full course yellow.
Fascinating to see what these strategies do. Kevin Lacroix back onto pit road in that 74 machine. The 19 team, Danny Chisholm, they did a good job of getting that car pieced back together and back on the racetrack. He might be one lap down, the 19 of Danny Chisholm. I'm going to have a look and see where he winds up once they all cross the timing and scoring line. But at the front of this one, Peter Kloot, the veteran, in that number 6.
So again, Kloot in car number 6 on the racetrack will be your leader. We'll reset the running order for you next time by as we work lap number 23. It is that 6 of Kloot, and then Sam Fellows has moved up into the number 2 spot. Of course, Sam closely associated here with Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, an accomplished racer, ran in the Porsche GT3 Cup for a number of years, and most recently has been running not a full but somewhat of a limited NASCAR Canada Series, and he is turning in a nice drive. Looking at his fastest lap here of the race so far, 1:24.620 for Sam Fellows, and that is not far off his qualifying run. But again, qualifying laps usually a second or two quicker than what you're capable of running in the race, because you're not dealing with all of the traffic that's out here in a race. There were only 10 cars in each of the 3 qualifying groups yesterday to set the grid, but you're dealing with 29 other cars when you're out here and running the event here this afternoon. So the Chevrolet Camaro safety car, have they turned off the lights? Are they going to pair them up and go back to green as early as next time by?
Well, that's the plan. Talking to Kevin Lacroix before this race on the grid, and we were chatting about how fast the middle of the pack has become. There was a time when there was usually about 6 or 7 cars that were just that much quicker than the rest of the field, and there was quite a gap to the middle of the pack and then a huge gap to the back of the pack. What has happened in the last year or two is the middle of the pack, so everyone from about 6th on back to 20th, they're turning laps in the 1:24s where they used to be in the 1:26s. that makes life a lot more challenging for these drivers as they pit, as they execute a strategy. Look at how far back Kevin Lacroix is in this field. These passes aren't as easy as they used to be for these drivers as they try to work their way back to the front.
No green flag this time by, as we've got several drivers ducking onto pit road, still under the full course yellow as we put lap number 23 going up on the board. It is Peter Kloot, car number 6, your leader. 87, Sam Fellows in second. 92, Dexter Stacy third. 24, Thomas Neveu in fourth. LP Dumoulin, car 13, up in the fifth. Ryan Kloot in the 42 is sixth. There's Larry Jackson, 84 in seventh. Eighth is DJ Kennington. Ninth is LP Dumoulin, and Wallace Stacy, 66, rounds out your top 10.
So they had said over the radio they were going one to go. Pat, you noted the lights went out on the pace car at one time. I'm not sure why they aborted that restart, but one more lap under yellow. We are just shy of the midway point of this race. And we still have 27 cars running on the lead lap. 28 cars still on the racetrack. Daniel Bois is the only car being shown not on the lead lap. So one more yellow, Bois will get the free pass, and he'll be back on the lead lap as well.
Matthew Scannell, car number 99, showing in 29th position, but he is about 6 laps down here at the moment to the lead lap cars. Peter Kloot, car number 6, leading, as we say hello to some of the race fans who have joined us here. I don't know, they had originally forecasted about 23 degrees Celsius, but I think it's probably closer to 25 or 26. It's been just an absolutely gorgeous day here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park.
I can't remember, Pat, I was talking to some people pre-race. I can't remember the energy of this place feeling quite like this on this race weekend. And we've had some challenging weekends when it comes to Mother Nature. This is a weekend where we have seen snow on the main long weekend. We've seen rain. We've seen all these combinations. Yesterday wasn't a perfect day. Today, I would say it doesn't get any better to sit and enjoy a day of racing.
Wow,
a day of drinking.
And perfect weather last night, the concert, and then the fireworks, I think around 10 o'clock. And of course, we look forward to seeing you back here later on in the summer. The Varac Vintage Grand Prix. That is a great weekend if you want to take a walk down memory lane and look at some of the cars that would have run here decades ago. And then we've got the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship, the Superbikes in August, along with that brand new Bagger Series featuring Harley Davidson and Indian Motorcycles. As we're about to go back to green, Sam Fellows, 87, and Peter Kloot in car number 6 will bring the field out of turn number 10, looking for the green flag, and it flies in the flagger stand into turn number 1 as one of the drivers getting pinched off there as they go 3 wide into turn number 1. Gary Kloot in car number 6, followed by Sam Fellows, but he's got the 92 of Dexter Stacy right up alongside of him as they work off the bottom of turn 2.
Marc-Antoine Cameron made a super aggressive 3-wide move going into turn number 1. That really bottled up some of these cars. Contact between Dexter Stacy and Thomas Neveu. No harm, no foul as they exit turn number 3. It looks like Peter Kloot leading the way.
And that is, I believe, is that the Tagliani car that has gone through. And then on the inside, a lot of contact there in turn number 5B. Stacy, number 92, Dexter Stacy getting the worst of that. He's going to get shuffled back a few spots.
Oh, Larry Jackson waving his arm out the window. I think that was Larry Jackson. Yeah, he might not have been thrilled with Dexter Stacy. Hey, I didn't knock you off the track. Don't be running into me. As they work down towards turn number 8, everything's starting to sort out. I believe the yellow car you saw was Thomas Neveu. He was up in the top. He's running 3rd right now, that 24, as we've got one pulling off into the pits as Danny Chisholm just about missed turn 10.
working up across the line. Lap number 25 goes up on the board as we hit the halfway point, and Andrew Ranger is on pit road.
Halfway this time by, halfway, but Andrew Ranger down into the pits. I'm not sure if that's scheduled or not. They've been on and off pit road so many times, I'm not sure if people still have the need to make stops. But out on the racetrack, there was a lot of action. JP Bergeron to the outside of LP Montour as he slides his way through turn number 3.
Boy, the back end of that car just about came right on around as the race leader, Peter Kloot, car number 6, will lead Sam Fellows through Moss Corner. Thomas Nevieux in car number 24 running in 3rd, and then a side-by-side battle here for 5th between LP Montour in car number 13 and the one of JP Bergeron.
This is a classic drag race down the back straightaway. Bergeron with a little bit more horsepower. Helping him through was Marc-Antoine Cameron, the 96. Cameron trying to get 2 for 1 here as he sticks his nose to the inside of the number 1, but he has to back out of it. JP Bergeron with a good run through turn number 8.
Cameron tried to blitz both of those cars at the end of the Andretti straightaway, couldn't get it done. And here is Alex Tagliani. He'll roll on to pit road.
So these must be scheduled stops. I believe this will be to the benefit of Kevin Lacroix, because I believe Lacroix has made all the stops he needs to make out in front. Peter Kloot with about 6 car lengths over Sam Fellows at the 87. Thomas Nevieux keeping the pressure on Fellows. They've got a bit of a gap back to 4th place. Ryan Kloot with JP Bergeron rounding out the top 5 in that number 1.
Cars working their way on the short chute between turns 3 and 4. We're on lap number 27, just past the halfway point. The 6 car of Peter Kloot is your leader. 87 Sam Fellows in 2nd. Thomas Nevieux runs in 3rd. 42 Ryan Kloot in 4th, and the one of JP Bergeron rounds out your top 5 as the leaders work their way up the Andretti straightaway on lap number 27. It is Peter Kloot, car number 6, by just a few car lengths over Sam Fellows.
I'll tell you, good job for Stephen Cote in that 29. He started deep in this field, almost outside of the top 25, I believe. He's up there running in the top 10 in the 29 Everum-sponsored machine, so a good run for him. And look at this lead pack, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 cars in a train, then there's about 10 car lengths and another 7 or 8 cars running in line. This is still a tightly bunched field.
Marc-Antoine Cameron among the fastest of the drivers up in that lead pack. He is currently running in the 6th place position, right on the rear bumper of the one of JP Bergeron, as we've got 7 cars up in that lead group about to go into turn 3. And we'll check the gap here. Looks like Sam Fellows may have made up a little bit of ground there on Peter Kloot in car number 6.
And I'm wondering, is Kevin Lacroix playing a patient game as we've got one mowing some grass there in turn number 3? Who is that? That's Herbie Drescher.
Boy, the back end of that car just completely stepped out, and he was able to gather it back up. The field working their way up the Andretti straightaway. It looks like Fellows has closed in on Peter Kloot. That last lap, Fellows was about a 1/10 of a lap quicker than Kloot and has been able to reel him in. But the driver on the march here is Marc-Antoine Cameron in car number 96. He was 6th at the end of that previous lap, and I think he'll be at least one more position further up to the front.
Kevin Lacroix, I'm just fascinated watching that 74. He's been the class of the field this weekend. He keeps showing a nose, trying to make passes, but they're not coming easily. He has shown the nose to JP Bergeron 2 or 3 times now and has not been able to make the pass. So he's being very calculated, a little bit more cautious than we're used to seeing Lacroix in the 74. Now they're side by side through turn number 2. JP Bergeron not being pushed around. He is battling back on the 74 of Lacroix, making life miserable for the driver from St. Eustache, Quebec.
Kevin Lacroix, the St. Eustache, Quebec driver with the fastest lap of the race as he tries to come back up through the field. But in that top 5, there's that 96, the GM Paye Chevrolet.
Contact! He punted him! Kevin Lacroix puts the bumper to Bergeron, and this is what we're talking about. The middle of the pack is so much faster than it used to be. These drivers are running out of patience trying to battle with them, and Bergeron did a hell of a job fighting him off, but Lacroix finally had enough, said, you know what? I'm going to use my front bumper, get you out of my way. You've had enough, son.
And Bergeron in car number 1, shuffled to 7th. 74, Kevin Lacroix, now running 6th. 8th is 13, LP Montour. And then behind Montour is the Stephen Cote entry as they work down the start-finish straightaway. This will be lap number 29 goes up on the board, and the 1 car might be some damage there from that contact with Kevin Lacroix. The number 1 car of JP Bergeron is on pit road.
Bergeron down to the attention of crew chief Don Thompson Jr. and the rest of the gang. Cameron looking to the inside. I believe that's Ryan Clute. He's trying to make a pass on in turn number 3. Clute with good track position. Oh, Cameron just cleared him, slid across the nose of the 42 of Clute. A nice move on the exit of turn 3.
They're battling back and forth there. Cameron 96 and Lacroix 74 in 5th and 6th. And they're part of that lead group as they work up the Andretti straightaway. Still the 6 of Peter Clute leading 87 Sam Fellows. And here's the challenge for 2nd now by Thomas DeVue, right up alongside of Fellows. And I think that might be Cameron right there as well in 4th as they run into turn number 8. And Sam Fellows just got passed by 2 cars as both DeVue and then 96 Cameron have gotten around the 87. He gets pushed back into that 4th place spot. Lacroix 74 is 5th. And then we've got the other Clute car, Ryan Clute, now shuffled back into 6th.
All of this battling is allowing Peter Clute to open an advantage. He's got 1.7 second advantage over Thomas Neveu in 2nd. Kevin Lacroix going to slip past Sam Fellows, the 74 over the 87. Phenomenal racing here this afternoon at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park.
And there's the change as that 96 car will go through into the 2nd place spot. So Marc-Antoine Cameron has moved around the 24 of the View to take over 2nd. Now he'll try to track down the leader, Peter Clute, who with all the action that was going on behind him was able to open up a good 12 car lengths. But Cameron is the quicker of the 2 drivers as they work up the Andretti straightaway.
Kevin Lacroix to the outside of Thomas Neveu down the long back straightaway. He has almost cleared the 24. Now he's cleared him, so he will take that advantage into turn number 8.
So it looks like we could be back to what we saw early in this race with the 74 of Lacroix and the 96 of Cameron. Dodge against Chevrolet as they are both reeling in. Peter Clute will check the lap times.
Got one around the exit of turn number 10 and a huge cloud of smoke. That is Stephen Cote. He has kept the car fired. He's able to pull away, but still so much smoke. Everybody able to avoid him so far. Cote loses about half a dozen spots.
Boy, he did a nice job of keeping that car off the tire walls, but in a big cloud of smoke, and then the drivers that were right behind were able to adjust accordingly. We're working lap number 32, so less than 20 laps to go. Peter Clute, car number 6, your leader. He has gone through. That last lap was 1:25 and change for Clute. That chasing pair of 96 Cameron and 74 Lacroix were into the 1:24, so they are reeling him in a big hurry up the Andretti straightaway. The 96 GM Paye car and then the 74 of Kevin Lacroix. Problem with the 66 off into the tire wall, and that will be in turn number 4. Just at the exit of turn number 4, it is the 66 that's gone into the wall here. and that will, in all likelihood, bring out a full course yellow Wallace Stacy, and that car is not in a good spot.
Well, they'll give him an opportunity to refire the car. Sometimes when these engines are this hot, they don't want to turn over. There he goes. Wallace Stacy gets that car running. He'll get back towards the racing surface. Fortunately, doesn't look like he did any damage, Pat.
But we did see some debris on the racetrack in the chute. As here we look at the battle. Yes, the left rear of that car severely damaged, and he'll bring that car, I'm sure, onto pit road as we have the 32nd lap completed. He's moving very slowly on the back straightaway, working lap number 33. The 6 car of Peter Kloot leading 96 Marc-Antoine Cameron, and then the 74 of Kevin Lacroix. And there is the Stacy car, very slow. They'll move to the left side on that back straight.
Yeah, Wallace doing a great job to stay out of the way. The corner workers doing a fantastic job to display the blue flag as Wallace goes off the racetrack, either intentionally or unintentionally, but he is getting out of the way. And what we saw, Marc-Antoine Cameron is really caught up to Peter Kloot. They can catch him, but they're struggling to make these passes.
And they'll put a lap on Ben Couture in car number 75. As they work back up across the line. 33 laps completed. Peter Kloot, your leader. 96 Marc-Antoine Cameron. Here comes Cameron. He's going to go for the lead under the Chevrolet bridge into turn 2. Cannot get around. Thomas Neveu in car number 24 is 4th, and Sam Fellows in 87 still back in 5th, diving in on the inside. The 96 of Marc-Antoine Cameron has taken the lead. Kevin Lacroix will also dive inside of Peter Kloot to move to 2nd. So the race is on. Cameron in the Chevrolet, Lacroix in the Dodge, now running 1-2 as they clear Moss Corner on lap number 34.
Just outside of the top 5, you've got LP Dumoulin in the 47. So the cars that were a factor earlier on are still out there in contention, but Marc-Antoine Cameron and Kevin Lacroix, they have cleared the pack. They are now at the front of this one. Can Cameron keep the 74 behind him? Now let's remind the race fans, Cameron's car looks identical to Andrew Ranger's number 27, but they might be teammates, but they're not identical cars. The 74 of Kevin Lacroix is an identically prepared race car to the 27 of Andrew Ranger. They're prepared out of the same race shop.
Ranger currently being shown in 21st position, a long way back after running at the front early. Your 1st and 2nd place cars through turns 1 and 2. Peter Kloot, car number 6 in 3rd, 24, Thomas Neveu 4th. Sam Fellows is part of a monumental battle going on for that 5th place position with 47 LP Dumoulin and the 59 our pole sitter Gary Kloot. And right now, Fellows, I think this is the best he has ever run here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. He is right there battling to hold on to that 5th place spot.
They've done a good job with decisions on when to come into the pits. They got him into good track position, and Sam is a good race car driver, especially here on this road course. So he's able to run with the best of the best out here and giving that 87 a great ride. The AER Polysleep sponsored 87 machine.
Looking at a couple of the other fights going on, back of Gary Kloot, 42, Ryan Kloot in 8th. LP Montour, car number 13, running in 9th, and DJ Kennington in that Castrol Edge Dodge rounds out your top 10 as 74 Lacroix inside of Cameron into turn number 10, and we have got a new leader coming to the line to complete lap number 35. It is that 74 Napa Dodge of Kevin Lacroix going out in front. We'll see whether or not Cameron is going to be able to track him and take a look at where some of the other drivers are running here. Gary Kloot going through here in the 7th place spot, just ahead of Ryan Kloot. Then LP Montour in 9th, and still DJ Kennington rounding out your top 10.
LP Montour having a great run in that number 13 machine, keeping himself in the top 10. Kevin Lacroix's gotten out front. Let's see if he can pull away from Marc-Antoine Cameron. Cameron is a fierce competitor. I think it's going to come down to the back straightaway. Let's see if they've each got similar horsepower under the hoods of their race cars.
Of course, in qualifying, Kevin Lacroix was just 3/100ths of a second off of the pole time of Gary Clute. So he's shown he's got one of the fastest race cars here this weekend. We're working lap number 36. Kevin Lacroix, your race leader, followed by Marc-Antoine Cameron as lap number 36 goes up on the board. Peter Clute in car 6 and 3rd, then Neveu 4th, LP Dumoulin 5th, no change there. Gary Clute 59 has moved ahead of Sam Fellows into 6th. Sam Fellows 87 and 7th, 42 Ryan Clute 8th. 13 LP Montour 9th, and still DJ Kennington holding on to that 10th place spot as we look at a battle shaping up here between Clute 59 and LP Dumoulin. That is the battle going on for that 5th place position, and right now Gary Clute, one of the fastest cars on the racetrack, he has got his lap times down into the minute 24s. And he is closing here on LP Dumoulin in that WeatherTech sponsored entry as they work up the Andretti straightaway.
So much horsepower required to get these cars down the straightaway. This separates the competition. Gary Clute was all over the 47 of LP Dumoulin. Then they go down the straightaway. Dumoulin opens up about 5 car lengths on that 59.
Front-running 2 cars work off of turn number 10 on the start-finish straightaway. Thomas Neveu in car 24 is feeling the pressure now from LP Dumoulin and Gary Clute. That is a 3-way battle going on for the 4th place position. Meanwhile, at the front, Kevin Lacroix, 74. Going through here about 0.3 of a second quicker than Cameron, so he has opened up a little bit of a gap. Here's the battle for that 3rd place position. It is very close. Clute in Neveu in car number 24, then LP Dumoulin, and then the 59 of Gary Clute.
Back at the front, Kevin Lacroix slowly extending his gap, nearly a full second over Marc-Antoine Cameron last time at the start-finish line. And Kevin Lacroix, that equates to about 10 car lengths as they venture down the back straightaway.
3rd place car still Peter Clute in car number 6. Also looking at a great battle here for 10th between the 17 of DJ Kennington in that Castrol Edge Dodge and Alex Labbé in car number 36, who is 11th. 12th is 98 Malcolm Strong. 13th, as you were saying, there's Larry Jackson, 84, all the way up into 13th. The 3 of Jason Hathaway, the ASSA ABLOY car, running in 14th, and Simon Simone Charbonneau, he's the highest running rookie in 15th. Danny Chisholm out of Nova Scotia, car number 19, runs 16th.
You know, this is the part of the race where if we had Larry McReynolds from the NASCAR broadcast, he would talk about trends. And Pat, we normally do not get to the end of this race without a late race yellow flag. So we've seen it before, but quite often there's a yellow that bunches this field up and changes everything. But right now, the drivers who have executed their race to perfection, Kevin Lacroix and Marc-Antoine Cameron, are enjoying the fruits of their labor as they have a 5-second lead over Peter Clute, holding down the 3rd spot.
Looking at Andrew Ranger as he tries to come back up through the field after, I think, at least 1, maybe 2 unscheduled pit stop. He is being shown in 18th at the moment and turning laps in the low minute 25. So Ranger up inside of the top 20 after dropping outside of the top 20 earlier. We're working lap number 39. Next time by, it'll be 12 laps to go. Kevin Lacroix, 74, is your race leader. 96, Marc-Antoine Cameron in second. Peter Kloot, car number 6, third. 47, LP Dumoulin, fourth. And 59, Gary Kloot in fifth. And they've both gotten around the view in car number 24.
Watching a battle here for the 9th spot. LP Montour has the position. DJ Kennington looked to the inside into turn number 10, but couldn't get the power down in that 17. That allowed Alex LeBay in the 36 to close in on the back bumper of that 17 machine.
That is a great little multi-car battle going on as DJ Kennington trying to hold off Alex LeBay, and also at the same time trying to get around LP Dumoulin to pick up that 9th place position. Meanwhile, at the front, Kevin Lacroix working on lap number 40 as DJ
trouble. Stephen Cote goes around once, goes around twice. The car is still fired.
That is that Evram sponsored entry, the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship sponsored car. He does a nice job of getting that car turned around and will continue on the short chute here coming to turn 4. That spin, I believe, was up in turn 3 as the race leader, Kevin Lacroix, working his way across the line. Lap number 40 goes up on the board. We've got 11 laps to go. That last lap, Marc-Antoine Cameron a little bit closer by about 0.2 of a second, and then LP Dumoulin 47 in third. 59, Gary Kloot is fourth, and Peter Kloot has been pushed down into that 5th place spot. Big slide out of turn 3 as Kevin Lacroix, a beautiful 4-wheel drift coming off of turn number 3. We'll check to see whether or not Cameron can close it up a little bit further. Some incredible racing going on all the way up and down that top 20.
Side-by-side battle between LP Montour and DJ Kennington. A little further up, you've got LP Dumoulin, the 47. He runs in the 3rd spot with Gary Kloot 4th in the 59. Kloot really up onto the back bumper of that 47 as they draft down the back straightaway.
The front running 2 cars are turning laps at 1:24 and change. That chasing pack is not catching them because they're in at 1:25 and 1:26. But this is a monumental battle between LP Dumoulin 47 and Gary Kloot in the 59 for that 3rd place spot as they work off at turn number 10. And on the start-finish straightaway, that is 3rd and 4th. Then the 6 of Peter Kloot rounding out your top 5. Thomas the View in the 20.
Oh, trouble! That's our race leader, Kevin Lacroix, way off the track.
Lacroix off of the racetrack. He has slowed. I'm not sure if something broke on the race car, but all of a sudden, Marc-Antoine Cameron finds himself in the lead. And now this battle between LP Dumoulin and Gary Kloot will be the race for 2nd.
I don't see oil. That's the exit of turn number 1, and not a good spot for Kevin Lacroix. Well, obviously not a good spot when you've led the race and now you're stopped on the racetrack. So I believe this will likely draw a full course caution. We'll wait and let the officials do that officiating. There are spots on the track where you can come to a stop and probably not warrant a yellow. Now I almost wonder if there's fluid on the racetrack somewhere, because we got a couple of cars sliding off the corner. Now they've gone to a full course yellow.
Indeed, and that 96 car of Marc-Antoine Cameron will be your race leader. Just looking to see where the 98 cars, they have lapped up through the field. And right now, Cameron, as we complete lap number 42, so 9 laps remaining. The Kevin Lacroix, number 74, Napa Dodge, parked in turn number 1. That is going to move the 59 of Gary Kloot to 2nd, 47 LP Dumoulin to 3rd, 6 Peter Kloot is 4th, and Thomas Neveu will round out your top 5. And so it is Sam Fellows, 87 in 6th. 42, Ryan Clute up to 7th. 17, DJ Kennington now 8th. 13, LP Montour 9th. And Alex Labe, 36, rounds out your top 10.
And what a difference this will be. Kevin Lacroix has climbed out of the 74. I wouldn't say he looks disgusted, but that is not a happy Kevin Lacroix. They have invested in this race team. They have new partnerships. They have a gentleman by the name of Etienne Cliche, who is now looking over the 74 and the 27 of Andrew Ranger. So they have taken a lot of efforts to improve that race team. He had the fastest speeds all weekend long. Not the way Kevin Lacroix wanted to end this.
Well, he came so close to taking the pole position after topping the practice earlier yesterday afternoon, and was just 3/100ths of a second back of Gary Clute, who put it all together. And in the race here this afternoon, 74 Kevin Lacroix with a lap at 1:23.281. That came fairly early in the race. But that was, in fact, the fastest lap of any of the cars, as we will take a few minutes to get that car out of there. We're on lap number 43. So the lap's winding down, 8 laps remaining. We gave you the top 10. Alex Labe in car number 36 in 10th. Let's take you a little bit further back. 11th is 98 Malcolm Strawn. 12th is 84 Larry Jackson, who has been steady and consistent here this afternoon. Started further back, was outside of the top 20 early, has carved his way up into 12th. Then the 3 of Jason Hathaway, the Ed Hackinson Racing, ASSA ABLOY, a sponsored entry, along with Weiser on the sponsorship package on that car. Andrew Ranger all the way up into 14th. That might be some very valuable points. Andrew Ranger, of course, aspirations for another NASCAR Canada Championship. The rookie out of Nova Scotia, Danny Chisholm, car number 19. He is the highest running rookie in 15th. And then Herbie Drescher, car number 53, 16th. 29 is Stephen Cote. Was there a little note about Cote?
We're going to drop the end. Just
okay, Steve Cote, not Stephen Cote. 6 of one, half dozen of the other, tomato, and all those other sayings that go along with it. So Steve Cote, 29 in 17th. The one of J.P. Bergeron, 18th. Alex Tagliani up into 19th. And then it looks like it'll be Dominic Scrivo in car number 69, who will round out your top 20 as is that the flatbed or the tow truck over there by turn 1, trying to retrieve that number 74 Napa Dodge to get it out there so we can get what might be a 5-lap trophy dash or maybe green-white checker to end the run here this afternoon.
Some interesting thoughts. So first off, the 74 of Kevin Lacroix, we understand his transmission failure that has knocked him out of this race. If we look at the front of the field, Marc-Antoine Cameron, Gary Clute, LP Dumoulin, Peter Clute, all of their fastest laps came on laps 6, 7, or 8. Same with Sam Fellows, same with LP Montour, same with Alex Labe in the top 10. But there's 3 drivers who turned their fastest lap after the midway point of this race that are running in the top 10. Thomas Neveu in the 24, Ryan Clute in the 42, DJ Kennington in the 17. They ran their fastest lap after the halfway point. So it's not always about how fast you can go at the start of the race, even though you want to have speed throughout. But it's who has a car that'll improve compared to the competition as the race goes on.
Well, the tow truck has got that number 74 Napa Dodge up on the hook. And I'm not sure if they're going to go all the way around or they'll just try to find that runoff area and the exit off of the racetrack maybe at turn number 2. so we can go back to green. But the car has been moved off of the racetrack there from turn number 1. Tough break for Lacroix. He certainly had the car and the pace to win the race here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. The lights are still on that Chevrolet Camaro pace car as the field winds its way into the top of the S's.
I don't understand. According to my timing and scoring, the first car a lap down should be Daniel Bois. But Daniel Bois is not the car behind the caution car. It's Herbie Drescher. So Herbie Drescher has now come into pit road. Maybe they already gave the free pass.
While the 31 car of Daniel Bois has come onto pit road, the indication is that he is not on the lead lap. He's currently being shown 23rd in the running order as the field goes through here. Lap number 44 goes up on the board. 7 laps remaining in the ASSA ABLOY Accentra 200. And I would think next time by we should be able to go back to green. I don't see that tow truck on the racetrack, so they've found one of the exits. Probably, oh no, there they are, turn number 5. And are they going to run off there at 5? Yes, they will. That is the first exit off the racetrack. They'll go down that access road. And I would think we should be able to go back to green next time by as the field winds its way through Quebec corner up there in turn number 3, where they put up that big orange grandstand that is always absolutely jam-packed. We saw a couple of shots of the fans up there in turn number 3 in the grandstand enjoying the racing. And that's certainly a great vantage point to watch the cars come out of 2 all the way through 3, and they'll disappear as they work under the bridge at turn 4. And now the field should be forming up here next time by. So that'll be 45 laps completed. This is going to be a 6-lap trophy dash to complete this opening round of the NASCAR Canada Series. And Adam, what a great schedule for 2024. You guys are going to be all over Canada.
We go as far east as St. John's, Newfoundland, as far west as Wetaskiwin, Alberta. This year we've added back Riverside International Speedway in Antigonish, Nova Scotia, and Montmagny, Quebec is where we're going to end the schedule in September. The series has never visited. NASCAR used to race there, but NASCAR has never visited. And many stops in between. A phenomenal schedule. We get to see a lot of the countryside.
Well, I think that's how both you and I have seen this glorious country we live in, just visiting all those racetracks over the decades as the field makes its way off the end of the Andretti straightaway. The cars are all lined up. We're about to set to go back to green. Tighten those seat belts, ladies and gentlemen. 6 laps to the checkered flag, and hopefully that's the last of the caution flags we're going to see here today.
You know, these drivers are going to be up on the wheel for this. Bringing them back to green, it'll be Marc-Antoine Camerand on the inside, setting the pace in the GM Paillet 96. The WeatherTech 47 of LP Dumoulin going to restart second. Then it's a father and son, Gary Clute and Peter Clute in row number 2. Green flag is out. We're back underway.
Down into turn number 1, it is Marc-Antoine Camerand who grabs the lead off of turn number 1. Looks like that might have been DJ Kennington getting shuffled back. But boy, he was sliding that car. Do not count out Gary Clute.
Peter Clute goes around. Peter was off the pace on that restart. He has gone around in turn number 2. Thank goodness they paved the runoff at turn 2. That would have been a horrible crash. Clute is back under power, making his way back towards the racing surface, but there was some sort of a problem. Here goes Gary Clute to the inside of the 47 LP Dumoulin, down into the Moss hairpin.
And he just about contacted that 47 of LP Dumoulin. Meanwhile, Marc-Antoine Camerand has opened up about 12 car lengths on the rest of the field, and we've got a spinner. That is the 88 car of Simone Charbonneau. And is that up in Moss as well? But
it looks the entry, I believe.
Yeah, he's got it turned around, so we stay green across the line here. It'll be 5 laps to go as they work out of turn number 10. And Cameron right there, Dumoulin and Gary Clute, those front-running 3 cars have opened up just a little bit of the gap over Sam Fellows in car number 87. Sam Fellows turning in perhaps his greatest drive in the NASCAR Canada Series as they work up under the Chevrolet Grand Prix bridge at the top of turn 2.
Gary Clute losing a bit of ground to LP Dumoulin. Dumoulin is faster from turn 5 all the way around to turn 1. Gary Clute is faster from turn 1 down to turn 5 as we see Thomas Neveu off the pace. That is a sketchy spot for Thomas Neveu.
That is in turn number 2. So we've had a number of cars off the track here, but we stay under green. Gary Clute trying to get around that 47 of Dumoulin. Oh, and another spinner in Moss Corner. That is Larry Jackson, 84, who has looped around the Dodge. Part of that car is still sitting on the inside of the racetrack in turn number 5. It looks as though the engine has died on that 84 car. A little bit of it is on the racetrack, but he's well off the racing line.
We'll see what happens there, but second place is closing in. Dumoulin catching up to Marc-Antoine Cameron. This time it is 4 laps to go. Larry Jackson back up to speed in the 84 machine. He has got that car running, but our lead trio is close together as they work through turn 1.
3 drivers shootout here for honors in the ASSA ABLOY Accentra 296. Marc-Antoine Cameron in that Chevrolet working his way around. His teammate Andrew Ranger continues to carve his way back up. Ranger is 11th. Has these 3 drivers to settle it here with less than 4 laps to go.
Down through turn number 4, the leaders work their way. Cameron has extended a little bit of gap. Gary Clute has closed in on LP Dumoulin. Now down the long back straightaway. They are all going to be in the same draft.
And it looked like Cameron got up on the curbing there out of 5B. It upset the car a little bit, and I think that is going to cost them all the way up that Andretti straightaway. Also looking at a great battle here for 4th and 5th. 87, Sam Fellows just ahead of DJ Kennington in the Castrol Dodge. That is a great little fight as we've got Alex Labbe in car number 36 right behind them. So that is a 3-way fight, 4-way fight as they work back to the line. Lap number 48 going up on the board. We've got 3 laps remaining, and it is Cameron, Dumoulin, and then Gary Clute. 1, 2, 3, checking the lap times. They're down into the minute 23. So all of these drivers in that front trio on the ragged edge, and it looks like they're going to be coming up to a slower car.
Full course yellow. We've got a car stopped on the racetrack. I got my wrist slapped a couple of years ago. I think it was 2 years, might have been last year, but there was a car stopped on the back straightaway and they didn't go yellow. But I am concerned that the 24 of Thomas Neveu has his driver's side door exposed to the traffic. And I'm not sure if that's why they've gone yellow. If it is why they've gone yellow, I fully support that, Pat. You don't want to have a driver's door be the first thing that would get contacted if there is an issue. There may be another car on the track somewhere with a problem, but that problem is big enough to me. At the speeds they're traveling as they go by there between turns 3 and 4.
So Adam, what is the procedure here? It's going to take them a little time to get that car out of there. This one's scheduled to go 51 laps. Do we go overtime?
Oh, we go overtime. Absolutely. Yeah, green, white checker. That's what we're going to see.
So it is all going to come down to a 2-lap shootout once they get that car out of there. Of course, if you don't want to fight the traffic out here, because I don't know if we've got anything official, but this looks like certainly the best crowd on a Victoria Day weekend. Of course, you couldn't ask for better weather in decades here at the racetrack. And again, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for being part of this celebration of motor racing, the Castrol Victoria Day Speed Fest. And we should be in for quite a final overtime dash here to the checkered flag. And again, a big thank you as well, not only to the great race fans, to all of the volunteers who came out and helped here this weekend, the Motorsport Marshalling Services gang, the Bowmanville Rotary Club that handled our shuttles. It's just been a wonderful, wonderful weekend as the field makes its way out of turn number 2. And we should be getting set to go back to green, I would think, here in 2 or 3 laps.
Yeah, they just released a push truck from turn number 10. I will tell you this much. If you're at your campsite around this track and we're towards the end of the race and your drink is run out, I would go get yourself a fresh one, because whoever wins this race deserves a cheers as they drive by on the cool down lap. And Pat, I don't know who it's going to be, but I know whoever wins this race is about to earn it.
Well, indeed, just updating before we went to that full course yellow, the 27 of Andrew Ranger has just clawed and scratched his way over the last 15 or 20 laps into the top 10. Ranger in the second of the GM Paye Chevrolets is in 10th. His teammate, Marc-Antoine Cameron, is your leader on the racetrack. We're working lap number 50. And so it looks like we'll get to the 51 scheduled laps, but then we will be going overtime. And of course, for Toronto Maple Leaf fans, we hope that we were still in the Stanley Cup playoffs. And I think I was a young teenager the last time the Leafs won the Stanley Cup. But I guess if you're a Canadian hockey fan, we can enjoy game number 7 between the Canucks and the Oilers. Believe that's coming up tomorrow night after the Oilers won game 6 to force a game 7. And one of those Canadian teams is going to be moving on. But right now, working lap number 50, your race leader, Marc-Antoine Cameron, 96, LP Dumoulin in the 47, and Gary Clute, 59, third. Sam Fellows, I'm not sure if Sam's got this close to a podium finish, but he is right there in 4th and has really driven a terrific race in that number 87 car. We saw him here on May the 2nd during the test day, and he was pretty pumped and enthusiastic about the car and the fact that they'd got some testing in and that he thought he could be competitive.
Absolutely, and I'll tell you what, this might be a nerve-wracking experience for Sam Fellows, if not for the fact that he has run some races with us, and he's not in 4th place by chance. He executed a phenomenal race. He has run 50 good laps and put himself in this position. So I think we could see something out of Fellows for sure here as we get to the end. Do we have any concerns? I don't think so. With the number of yellow flag laps we've run, I believe Gary Clute was the first car to come to the pits and top up with fuel. I think he should be okay because of the number of yellow flag laps we've run, but time will tell.
Cars out of the running here this afternoon. The 24 of Thomas The View, 74 Kevin Lacroix, the 66 of Wallace Stacy, and the 38 of Michael Gowdy, as we had 31 cars on the entry. 30 actually qualified for the race, and a very impressive grid. Took you a little longer than usual to get through the starting lineup and the introductions a little bit earlier this afternoon. And again, we want to extend a big tip of the announcer's cap as well to our first-time visitors to Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. I saw some young families with their kids. We understand that Canadian Tire Fun Zone was a busy spot all weekend long. And of course, all the various companies that were part of our marketplace, the food vendors we had, the folks at Miller Meats up there in turn number 3, and all of our other great sponsors, and of course Castrol, what a great partner. They have been here with the racetrack for many, many years now, and our NASCAR opening round sponsor, ASSA ABLOY, and they hopefully will be back next year to put their brand on this opening round. Of course, as we come back here in September, it'll be the WeatherTech 200, and again, that'll go here as one of our feature races on that Labor Day weekend, as the field is now working lap number 51. So next time by, as we're about to go back to green, it'll be 51 laps in the books. And we are going to run this one a total of 53 laps. So we're going overtime at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. On your feet, tighten those seatbelts. Here they come.
Up through turns number 9 and 10. Marc-Antoine Cameron going to slide his car over, keep LP Dumoulin right where he wants him. Sam Fellows right up under the rear bumper of that 47. They roll up through the gears, back under green. We're going NASCAR overtime.
In turn number 1, it is the 96 of Marc-Antoine Cameron. Those drivers just sliding those cars out of turn number 1. They head uphill into 2. And it is the 96 of Cameron side by side there for second.
No, Clute cleared him already.
Clute was able to get around Cameron and move up into second. Sam Fellows right there in fourth as they exit turn number 3, work the short chute, about to come under that Chevrolet bridge, and then it'll be down the chute and up into Moss for the first time here since we went back to green.
Great restart for Gary Clute. He cleared LP Dumoulin on the exit of turn number 1. Cameron leads the way as they work down the back straightaway, but Gary Clute is in his slipstream. Down the long back stretch, they're going to come down under the Canadian Tire Bridge. The white flag will be displayed this time. The next flag ends the race. Clute trying to close that gap as they work into turn number 8. The gap between first and second about 5 car lengths.
Marc-Antoine Cameron was about a 1/10 of a second quicker than Gary Clute through this race as they work off of turn number 10. White last lap flag is in the air as they complete lap number 52. This one's going to go 53 laps. Marc-Antoine Cameron, your leader. Right there is Gary Clute. LP Dumoulin, Sam Fellows in fourth. Rounding out your top 5, 36, Alex Labbé.
Down through turn number 2, Cameron got a little bit wide. Gary Clute with a better line. He'll close the gap into 3. Still 2 car lengths between first and second as they work through turn number 3 and head towards turn 4. Clute has really been charging into the Moss hairpin. Can he make a move on the leader Cameron? Not quite close enough.
Cameron is on the ragged edge. Gary Clute to within just about a couple of car lengths out of 5B. Now, which one of these drivers may have just a little bit more in the climb up the Andretti straightaway for the final time? 47, LP Dumoulin in third. Sam Fellows hanging out of fourth. Alex Labbé is fifth. Bring him on home, Adam.
Gary Clute closing the gap on Marc-Antoine Cameron. Cameron drives it deep into turn 8, extends to 3 car lengths advantage. They work towards 9, Cameron ahead. Gary Clute with one final attempt. He can't get close enough. Race number 1, the ASSA ABLOY Accentra 200 to Marc-Antoine Cameron. Clute gonna come home second. Dumoulin third. What a finish. Sam Fellows comes home fourth. Alex Labbé rounding out the top 5. Pat Gonzalez will take you through the running order. We're headed to victory lane.
Incredible, Adam. Nice job. And what a finish here in the ASSA ABLOY Accentra 200 as Marc-Antoine Cameron, who started third on the inside of that second row, able to battle back to take the win here. It was just a couple of car lengths over the pole sitter, Gary Clute. It'll be LP Dumoulin in third. Around the racetrack, ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for these NASCAR Canada drivers putting on an incredible show as they come through Moss Corner. Marc-Antoine Camirand, your winner. Gary Clute in second. LP Dumoulin third. And then what a drive by Sam Fellows. He was right there, able to hold off Alex Labbe for fourth. Labbe will finish fifth. DJ Kennington, the Iron Man of this series, will bring that Castrol Dodge home in sixth. The one of J.P. Bergeron is seventh. Eighth will go to Andrew Ranger as he battles back to work up through the field to finish in eighth. Ninth will be 13, LP Montour. And then rounding out your top 10 was the 80 of Alex Tagliani, who moved up into that 10th place spot very late in the race. 11th will be 42, Ryan Clute. 12th will be the number 3, Weiser. And ASSA ABLOY sponsored Chevrolet of Ryan Clute, of Jason Hathaway. And then Steve Cote in car number 29 will be 13th. 14th is the 6 of Peter Clute. And then 15th was 53, Herbie Drescher. 16th, 98, Malcolm Strawn. 17th was the 84 of Larry Jackson. 18th, 69, Dominic Scrivo. 19th, the 0 of Glenn Stiers. And rounding out your top 20, David Thorndike in car number 67, the Aegis Wonder at age 67. David Thorndike finishes the race here, finishes in 20th and on the lead lap. We'll give you the rest of the round out. 21st will go to Nova Scotia's Danny Chisholm. 22nd, the 31 of Daniel Bois. 23rd was 88, Simone Charbonneau. 24th, 75, Ben Couture. 25th, 92, Dexter Stacy. And 26th was the 99 of Matthew Scannell. Non-finishers here this afternoon. 24, Thomas DeVue. 74, Kevin Lacroix. 66, Wallace Stacy. And 38, Michael Gowdy rounds out the field as the driver of that GM Paye Chevrolet. They've got a checkered flag there that they're going to give him to take a well-deserved victory lap. Marc-Antoine Camirand as the 2 GM Paye Chevrolets end up here first. And what a great drive back there for Andrew Ranger in car number 27 to salvage some very important championship points, finishing in 8th. And so many great stories here this afternoon. If you're going to be heading out of Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, we still have the Toyo Tires F1600 race coming up here next. That is scheduled to go at 4:15 as Marc-Antoine Camirand takes a well-deserved victory lap. We're going to be heading down to the victory podium to check in with Adam Ross here shortly. And again, thank all of those race fans. If you are going to be heading out, we look forward to seeing you back here either on Father's Day weekend for the Varac Vintage Grand Prix, that is June 14, 15, and 16, or our Chevrolet Grand Prix IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship weekend, coming up July 12, 13, and 14. And then the Superbikes and the inaugural Bagger Racing League Big Motorcycle Weekend on the 9th, 10th, and 11th of August.